Good evening, everyone. This is Controlled Chaos speaking. I hope you all are having a good Monday. If not, I hope to help with that. We return to Stories, The Path of Destinies. I think I got it right this time. And we rejoin after previously rediscovering an old path by unintentionally, and finally discovering the secret truth that the Iblis Stone corrupts anyone who uses it. One last truth to discover, and hopefully, with the help of the Truth Finder that I've turned on, we will reach it, and thus the finale. Wonder what's going to happen next. Well, with that said, let's dive right in, shall we? Hello, Seekers.
Renato thought of the Iblis Stone and shivered. He had no business messing with ancient, cruel artifacts. What he needed was his friends around him. Clear eyes, full hearts, and booze. Ravens were landing everywhere. The advance guard. He had to get moving. If they got to Lupino first, they'd eat him for breakfast. Or a snack. Ravens weren't picky. If they got hungry, they sometimes forgot to interrogate their prisoners. Even top spies like Lupino. Well, unless he really was a traitor, obviously. Then they'd probably pin a medal on his chest.
Over here. Dear Zenobia, how are you doing, Academy? My friends have already floating around you, blah blah blah. Right. Oh yeah, I've read this one. I've already read this one.
This guard owed me 53 ducats, so we made a deal. We capture Zenobia, we find out what she knows, and that's the whole war right there. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Capture the Emperor's greatest general, who also happened to be a deadly sorcerer and, his only daughter? That would be worth it. On the other hand, he could still get to the core of the Sky Ripper, even if he couldn't get the whole thing. It must have great power.
That must be a path I haven't taken yet, that's why that's there. But, Truth Seekers states that the final truth is this way. And I'm wanting to get to that. You might come here later, though.
Zenobia wasn't just the Emperor's daughter, of course. She'd been Renato's best friend in Sword Fu School. And you're still mad for her, the rabbit reminded him.
Haha. But yeah, we've heard the whole spiel. So yes.
The city was already under Zenobia's control. I had to admire her efficiency. He outlined a slightly complicated plan that involved geese, a net, setting the Farfair a little bit on fire, Lupino dressing as an old blind toad, and Renato hiding inside a monstrous watermelon. What could possibly go wrong? Thought Renato.
Still not the time for harebrained schemes. Actually, I wonder if something will change with this. Let's give it a try.
Oh, this is gonna be fun, said Lupino, as he ran to go set up his marvelous plan.
Hopefully that didn't mess up anything.
Hey! I got this friend who's a swan. Could he join up? He dyes his feathers.
Dear Zenobia, as you read this letter, you are locked in your chambers, ready to spend your last night before, well, you know. I will not apologize. I know you are too proud to forgive me. I also know you won't resist reading through. You are a cat, as much as I have tried to educate you like a pepper toad. swear to you, and you have to believe me, that I did not plan all this when I adopted you. You have always been my special little kitten. That is why I am writing this now, weeks in advance. I know I will not have the heart to do it the night of the sacrifice. If I think of you as my daughter then, I may change my mind. You must think I am selfish, and yes, I am a selfish, sad little toad that is afraid to die. But what I am doing will ultimately serve the greater good. I want the power. I want it all, and so I will keep my subjects content. Peace for eternity. Even if you hate me now, you can still respect that. You have to. It's the only way I can forgive myself for doing this to you. I will miss you for eternity. Tomorrow, try not to make a scene. Everyone will be watching. Still with love, Father. Oh dear.
Renato felt dubious about the whole plan. With every step, he was waiting for it all to go horribly wrong. But against all odds, Peppino's idiotic plan worked. Zenobia's ravens ran off after the geese, the net dropped, and Renato jumped out of the watermelon and put his sword to Zenobia's throat.
Renato, she said. Are those new scars? They look good on you.
You never return my velvet jacket.
It was my favorite. You look stupid in velvet.
Ah, what does an imperial princess know about style? Oh, get a room, you two, said Latino. But the fleet was coming on fast, so they put Zenobia on the Farfarer and took her east, over the Nexus. She'd vanished from Swordfu School, from his life, without even saying goodbye, without ever telling him she was the Emperor's adopted daughter. Ah, Lapina was right, Renato thought reluctantly. She knows things. She recognized his look. You're taking me to the interrogators, aren't you? She said, wide-eyed. And then she jumped, with horror. Renato saw Zenobia plummeting. Then he saw the Nexus below them. Cats always land on their feet. Ah, she'll head for the Imperial outpost, yelled Lapino. You have to catch her.
I hope I didn't mess up the path. I don't think I did, though. And things did turn out quite differently.
Cats can run faster, but foxes can run longer. If he ran, he could head her off before she reached her minions at the outpost. Well, he did love a good chase. He'd once met a pirate captain who used hooks to get around his ship. Oh, what was his name again? He was closing on her. He could smell her fear. He tried not to think about the interrogators at the secret base. What did they do to her? Maybe it didn't have to end that way. Maybe he could talk to her. But, after all, there were worse things the Imperials had done to friends of his. Bernardo reached the outpost. The Imperials there were no match for him. Soon after, Zenobia limped up the path. When she realized he was already in front of her, she didn't even try to run. Oh, you left without saying goodbye. Again, he said, please. I'm enjoying this a little too much. She said, shaken. Oh, spare us the chit-chat, would you? Said Lapino as he shackled her hands so she couldn't throw spells. She knows all his plans. All the way back to the Farfarer, Lapino nagged Renato about how the interrogators would pry all the intel out of Zenobia. How that would turn the tides in the imminent battle. All they had to do was take her to the rebel secret base. Renato didn't like to think about what the interrogators would do to her. Couldn't he just talk to her?
Well, I don't like it, but this is where the secret lies. This is where the truth lies.
As they reached the ruins, Renato could see ravens everywhere, searching for the rebel base. They'd have to hide the Farfarer or go on foot. What if we get separated? Asked Lapino, for once thinking ahead. I'll draw you a map to the base. Renato told Lapino. Renato, don't do this, said Zenobia. We were friends once. We... Shut it, witch, or I'll shackle your mouth too, said Lapino. See? Renato thought. There was no way Lapino was working for the Empire. He really hated Zenobia. Then, a few moments later, they touched down.
No. He was, and you just gave him directions to the base.
As Lapino pulled Zenobia off the Farfarer, Renato readied himself for the battle ahead. I'm sorry I nicked your jacket, she said. It's just... Oh God. It's stupid, but... It smelled like you. What? He said, confused. Then... Why didn't you ride? Why didn't you far speak? Oh, save the romantic nostalgia. Let's go! Shrieked Lapino. So Renato launched himself down the path to the secret base.
I have a feeling I know what happens next.
This chest was really horrible. Get it?
Uh-huh.
He missed her. Not Zenobia. Hypatia, the kid's mother. Renato had never thought he'd date a librarian. He'd always figured himself for the barmaid type. But then, he'd never figured the library of Ubar would have comic books, or that Hypatia would know anything about them. He missed her.
Wonder if that changes if we come back here after finding out this truth.
Goth is over.
Got the drop on him.
Renato was walking Zenobia to the rebel secret base, where she would be interrogated. So, why was he feeling so scared?
Huh. Good question.
They caught their breath. It's beautiful, she said, looking at the ruins. This used to be the library of Ubar, he said. Before your father's ravens smashed it. Do we have to talk politics? She asked. That's not how I want to remember you, she said with an odd, wistful look at her face. She was as beautiful as she'd ever been, and as brave. Lapino huffed. They got back on the trail.
Oh.
Long stairs. So he was close to the rebel base. He was on fire. So far, so good. Now, doopsie-doo.
Oops. There it is. Well, let's see what's behind these doors.
It was time for a little exploration.
Ah.
As they made their way to the secret rebel base, Renato felt strange. Zenobia was his prisoner, yet somehow she felt more like an old friend. He wanted to tell her all his secrets, but suddenly the ruins lit up with thousands of fireworks. There was a thunderous roar and dust rose. The caves were collapsing. The caves? You've been playing me? Renato said, and he stared at Zenobia.
I'm sorry, she said, and she seemed almost embarrassed. Then everything went dark.
When Renato came to, he had a terrible headache. Also, Zenobia's sword was at his throat. And her shackles were gone. So was Lupino. The terrible thing is, he said, I really have missed you. Now that we've destroyed the rebellion, would you consider becoming an advisor to the Emperor's daughter?
I'm no one's servant. Everybody serves. Even if it's only destiny. I like to choose my own destinies, he said.
The whole point of a destiny is you can't choose. Oh, never mind, she said. Look, if I see you again, I'll have to kill you.
He watched her ship soar away. He would see her again, he decided. Even if he had to fight his way across the entire fleet.
Huh. Alright then. Time for the final confrontation, once again.
The Imperial fleet was cleaning up the few rebel remnants. For only a moment, he thought about running.
But heroes don't run, even when the world is against them. Even when their cause is hopeless, and their efforts futile, and pointless, and useless, and death painful and guaranteed. He's decided to stop thinking for a while.
Been here, I don't know how many times. I'm guessing this might be my third time. Or at least my second.
Soon he'd confront the Emperor. Again.
Yep.
This time, he'd make an end of him. He'd screwed up last time, but he had a good feeling about this time.
I don't know. I'm sure things will be different. thought I grabbed that shield. There we go. So let's see what happens this time. And what truth we find out.
At last, he reached the Emperor's ship. Zenobia was there. Why'd you have to come back? She said, guess I'm just serving my destiny. He shrugged. You don't even know what that word means. She said, do you ever wonder if things have been different all the time? She said, and drew her sword. In the end, Renato lay bleeding out on the deck. Zenobia sat by his side, upset. What are you so upset about? He asked. You wouldn't understand. Why didn't you tell me you were going to leave school? I was afraid you'd convince me not to. I guess I'll have to buy you a drink in the halls of the Valiant then, he told her. And then he was gone. He should go back to some of the choices he'd faced before. Maybe there were new paths that had opened up. Like those doors he was opening up all over the map that took him to new treasures and around his enemies. But he'd learned another true thing. Zenobia still had feelings for him.
Yay. And so... Alright. So that's all the truths unlocked. Well, I thought that would settle things, but I guess we'll have to go through all the choices. I thought it would be over. Well, I guess with that, I'm going to do an end card break here. I'll be resuming shortly, and those watching in the future, if you liked what you've seen, be sure to check out my Twitter page, and I will be live streaming on Twitch Mondays, unless I'm on the summer or winter hiatus. And with that said, we shall be continuing soon.